Hey guys, welcome back to another week of Fighting Game Weekly. And before we start this second episode, I would like to thank everybody that watched my segment last week and commented and rated. And I also want to give a shout out to the people that left comments in there and voted for all my stuff here. So, first off, Knick-Knack, he's a really cool guy. He's a lot into fighting game and RPG, so go check his channel out. He's a really cool guy. Next guy would be Geeker Days. He does a lot of gaming pickups and he does gaming reviews, and he's one of my brother's cool YouTube friends, so you guys check him out. Next would be Goffman, aka Spokesman. He does a lot of gaming related stuff, and he has a lot of really cool stuff, unboxings and pickups and all that stuff. He makes a lot of tag videos and it's pretty cool. Next up would be Otaku Bruno, which I guess most of you guys know him. He's a really cool guy. He has pretty much anything anime related and video game related. His videos are funny and they're really cool. You guys should check him out. And next up is my buddy Jay from Hot Chicks Cool Toy Reviews. He has really cool, and I mean really cool collectibles, and that's 1/6 scale figures, and you guys should really check his channel out. And well, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this, and I'm gonna put a link down below for the people that I just shouted out to, so you guys can watch this. So let's start with the second episode. This game's fighting game of the week is Soul Calibur on Dreamcast. It's a really good fighting game. If you guys are not familiar with Soul Calibur, you should check it out. And something that you all should know is that Soul Calibur is actually a sequel to Soul Blade, but I think I'd rather call the series Soul Calibur because we're all pretty much, know Soul Calibur more than Soul Blade. But yeah, this version of the Dreamcast, it's pretty awesome. If you guys own Dreamcast, you gotta have this in your collection. The thing I really like about the Dreamcast version is that it's the graphics are awesome. I mean, they're a lot better than the arcade. I first played Soul Calibur on the arcade a long time ago before it came out on Dreamcast, and it was alright. But once I played the Dreamcast version with a lot better graphics, you guys are like amazed by it, especially back in the day when Dreamcast was, the best thing ever. But yeah, the characters are awesome. I mean, storyline's not much I don't really care about, but it's just the fighting about it. The difference between this one and from other 3D fighters is that you get to fight with weapons, and adding weapons to a fighting game, I think it's pretty badass. Not to mention all the hot chicks are in there too. Especially my favorite hot chick would have to be Taki. But yeah, the gameplay is pretty good. I mean, they have so much modes in this game. You can do team play and survival and time attack, and then you can unlock pictures and all that stuff. And that's what I like about these kind of fighting games, where you fight and just unlock stuff, so you can get rewards for everything. Even the characters, I for some reason love games that where you have to unlock characters. It doesn't show that you're lazy or nothing, just show how determined you are at fighting games. But yeah, this is a game you guys should really have for Dreamcast. And there's also, I think, Xbox and PlayStation online for this, so I might think of getting it or not, but because I'd like to play retro with the Dreamcast. But if anyone out there wants to fight me on Soul Calibur, I'll be willing to buy a game on PSN or Xbox Live. But yeah, what I feel from this game is you guys should buy it, check it out, have it in your collection if you're a Dreamcast owner. But yeah, this is the fighting game of the week, and like I said before, I want you guys to tell me what you guys think about this game. You like it, you don't like it, any memories, anything. So let's all move on to the second part of this segment. Okay guys, this week's fighter of the week will have to be Yuri Yagami from the KOF series. He debuted back in, I think, 95 with the King of Fighters 95, and the reason I chose him is because he's a pretty badass character in my opinion. I mean, I like Kaio and all, but I think Ayuri takes a little bit further, like, especially when he's the bad guy, and bad guys are always fun to play with. And his fighting style is a little original too. And he's part of my team every time I play a KOF game or a crossover like Capcom vs. K. I gotta have a Yuri in my team because the best thing about Yuri is like you can do insane combos with him, and not to mention you can throw your opponent one side and the other and just finish a combo off with him. And yeah, he's a very well recognized SNK character, I would say. I know we all can see him, and he's very familiar to everyone. So yeah, this week's Fighter of the Week will have to be a Yuri Yagami. If you guys agree, don't agree, let me know down below. I like to hear what you guys say, good or bad. So let's move on to part 3 of this segment. Okay guys, before we get to who's the best fighter this week, let me mention who won the best fighter last week. It was between Christy from Taken versus Elena from Street Fighter 3, and to be honest, it was a tie. Yeah, I didn't really expect that for my first who's the best fighter, but it was a tie actually. And I don't know what else to say. I mean, if you guys are watching this episode for the first time, please go back to the first episode and vote there, because I will update that later on, see who is really the best fighter, but I'll use it later on. And let's get started with this week's. Okay guys, this week's who's the best fighter match will be Johnny Cage versus Ken Masters. A little about this character is, Johnny Cage from Mortal Kombat and Ken from Street Fighter. I always wanted to see this match since I was a kid, and I don't think we'll be getting Street Fighter versus Mortal Kombat, but I always thought they were equally matched, but I don't know. I'm having second thoughts here because me and my brother were debating the other night, and I said that Johnny Cage would probably win because, fatality moves and all that stuff, but he disagrees because he just says that fatalities don't make a difference on the Street Fighter fight. So I want you guys to let me know down below who will win from the match between these two, because we're both fighting here and we want to hear you guys vote on the bottom. Okay, so this concludes this episode, and stay tuned next week for episode 3 of Fighting Game Weekly. And like I said, check out the links below for these really cool YouTubers, and comment and subscribe too. Thanks a lot guys, see you.